You ever feel that relentless, invisible current just pulling you forward? You're being swept away from a past you can remember, but you can never, ever go back to. Today, we're going to explore that current. It's a story of cosmic law, human ambition, and, yeah, a bit of a tragedy. So let's just get right into the biggest mystery of all. I mean, think about it. We can walk north, south, east, west. We can climb up a mountain and come back down. Space is basically our playground. But time? Nope. Time is a one-way street, no exits. So why? Why is that? Well, the answer is literally woven into the fabric of everything. So where does this whole story start? Well, it begins with a fundamental rule, a decree laid down by the universe itself from the very beginning, and that is the inescapable law of entropy. It governs everything from exploding stars to the cup of coffee getting cold on your desk. You know that feeling of being pushed forward on some unstoppable river? It's not just a poetic idea, it's a real, deep physical principle. There's an engine driving us forward, and that engine is a cosmic law that dictates the direction of reality itself. And that invisible force? It has a name. It's called entropy. It's the whole idea behind the second law of thermodynamics. And honestly, it's brutally simple. Stuff falls apart. Order naturally becomes chaos. A clean room gets messy, a hot meal goes cold. This isn't a suggestion, it's the law. So here's how you can think about it. The past, by definition, is a state of lower disorder. It was more orderly. The future? That's where everything gets more mixed up, more chaotic. A state of higher entropy. So the arrow of time is really just the universe pointing the way towards more and more disorder. Okay, if that's a little abstract, check this out. It's super simple. You take a single perfect drop of ink and put it in a glass of clear water. That's order, right? Maximum order. And we all know exactly what happens next. It spreads out, it diffuses, it gets less concentrated, more disordered, until finally the whole thing is just one uniform chaotic mix. You will never see that ink spontaneously pull itself back together into a single drop. And right there, that is the key. Seeing that ink reform would feel like magic. It'd be like watching a movie in reverse. And that's because our very perception of forward time is hardwired to this unstoppable march from order to disorder. Okay, so the universe has its rules. They seem pretty strict. But we're human, right? We have ambition. So what if someone could build a machine, break those rules, and actually sail against the current of time? What would they find? And this is where our tragic hero enters the stage, the time traveler. Their quest isn't just to see the past, but to change it, to rewrite it. It's the ultimate act of defiance, of telling the universe, no, I don't like your rules. But as soon as they fire up that machine, they slam headfirst into a brick wall of pure logic, and it's probably the most famous one of all, the grandfather paradox. The idea itself is, well, it's elegant, but it is just brutal. You go back in time and you stop your own birth from happening. But if you were never born, then who went back in time to stop it? It's a perfect self-destructing loop, an action that completely erases the person who took the action in the first place. And here's the crazy part. Your own existence is so unbelievably fragile. We're not even talking about huge changes. Just delay your parents' first date by 10 minutes, that's it. The result? A different sperm cell reaches the egg. A different person is born. Maybe you'd have a sibling, sure, but it wouldn't be you. You would be erased from existence. Okay, fine. No big changes. What if our hero is super careful, just wants to fix one tiny little thing from the past? Well, the universe has other plans. Welcome to the world of unintended consequences. Think about it. Imagine you could send a text message to the past. Just a simple warning to a friend. Hey, watch out for the banana peel on the sidewalk at 3 p.m. You're trying to be a good friend, right? Avert a minor disaster? So what happens? Your friend's phone buzzes. They look down, confused, reading your text. And in that exact moment of distraction, bam, they step right on the banana peel. The warning you sent to prevent the accident became the very thing that caused it. It's almost like the timeline itself fights back, doesn't it? It has this cruel sense of irony. The harder you fight to change fate, the more you end up ensuring it happens exactly as it was supposed to. All right, so no warnings, no messages. You just go back to watch, just be an observer. But even that, even the smallest mistake, The most insignificant misstep can have consequences that you could never, ever predict. And this is where it gets truly terrifying, the sheer scale of it all. You go back in time, you accidentally step on one butterfly, a tiny, meaningless act, but that butterfly doesn't pollinate a certain flower. That plant dies out. An animal that ate that plant starves. The entire food chain shifts, which alters migration patterns, which centuries later results in a completely different political superpower rising in your own time. Your world is just gone, replaced by another one, all because of one crushed insect. So after all this, our time traveler finally gets it. They reach this tragic, unavoidable truth. The chains that link cause and effect. They were never meant to be broken. You see, all these paradoxes, the grandfather paradox, the butterfly effect, they're not just fun little thought experiments for writers. They are symptoms of a fundamental truth. They're the universe's way of putting up guardrails, showing us in no uncertain terms, you cannot go here. So, the arrow of time, the one driven by entropy, it isn't just a flow, it's the actual structure of causality. It makes sure that effects follow causes in a way that makes sense. Trying to reverse it, to meddle with it, you're just asking for either total logical self-destruction or a future so chaotic you wouldn't even recognize it. So we're left with this really chilling thought. We seem to be trapped. Our actions feel permanent, swept away by this current. But what if the river itself is the real illusion? Some physicists today wonder if time even exists at the most fundamental level. What if reality is more like a movie, a collection of still, individual frames, static now moments? And the only reason we feel a flow, a story, is because our consciousness is just experiencing those frames one after the other. If that's true, then our choices aren't just moments washed away by time, they're permanent parts of the film, unchangeable. And does that make their consequences any less absolute?